one time. All right. Shout out to everybody tuning in, tapping in, checking in. This is DJ George Chuck. Mr. Mack is here. He's getting his camera right. We are ready for awesome episode, another awesome episode of Nightcap Knowledge. Every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Tonight we'll be talking with Public Service Commissioner Keith Stamps. We got his first time on the show, friend of the show, friend of the people, friend of ours. So get ready, tap in, tune in, share this with somebody. Let's get ready to have a great show. Time for your mind. Let's get it. Nightcap Knowledge. It's all good. How you doing tonight, man? Let's see. We try to unmute you. Unmute yourself. There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So you know how you be in the club sometimes, you talking and then the music just cut out. You think you got enough time. So I thought I had enough time to run. I said, okay, I timed the music. Then I heard, I was like, oh shit.
No, the intro is only 1minute and 38 seconds.
Hey, look, you're like, it's one of those things. Right. You're like, I got enough time. You're like, no, I didn't. Hey, man, listen, welcome everybody to Nightcap Knowledge. This show is real talk, real issues, real solution. This show is rated black and uncensored. We're going to tell it like it T.I. is. And we got a lot of stuff to tell like a T.I. is tonight.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, look, give me the script. Let me know what we doing.
Hey, man, listen, we got a whole lot of things going on, and we are trying to do what we said we were going to do at the beginning of the year. Mowing 24, right? Self-focus and always move Mississippi forward, all gas, no brakes. So
that's the goal.
Mississippi is one of those places we always say that every year we have there's always an important election. And the same to say is we always have some type of state of emergency, natural disaster, something happening. And so we got a couple things going on right now. We definitely got to get to the bottom of and continue to educate and make sure people are safe and getting the accurate information. So man, this is 1 hour. One of our good friends. Oh, Chuck, not to get off the subject. We got to keep this thing going. Before we jump into the mental health minute, what are you drinking, sir?
I'm having so I have to give a very, very deserving shout out to Fawn Weaver from Uncle Nearest. I have really enjoyed her. They Fawn Weaver didn't send me nothing, so this ain't paid. This ain't look. I'm just doing the preface, the
Yeah.
thing that you read at the front of the book. For those of us that didn't know, they had to go look it up in the dictionary. I did that too one day. Uh, but the thing that I'm trying to say, I have really enjoyed her content as of late. I've seen or felt some sort of shift in the
Mm.
way that she's delivering her message. And today, when I said, well, look, I need to get me something to have on Nightcap tonight. And this is no slight to our brother, because we know where our family is, where they're going to be, and when we need them, we know that they'll be there when we need them. But what I'm saying is, she is saying something, and I like the way that she's saying it. So I'm drinking the Uncle Nearest. It's the 1884 tonight, and it just so happens that Mac and I have matching glasses, something like that. But definitely, I appreciate the way that she's showing up. She's telling her story. I can't speak to whether all of it is true or not, but I find a lot of what she's saying very, very motivational. And I like the way that Uncle Nearest, the distillery, and the brand is showing up in a lot of different spaces. I like how she's been spending her money and investing her money in the HBCUs. I like how she has made public her ambitions and her plans for creating another spirit brand in terms of a cognac. And yes, Mac, like buying property, buying dirt in France. So it is a wonderful thing. So in celebration of Black History Month and Women's History Month and Black History 365, I'm drinking this tonight.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. I went back to the older but goodie. So we know how a Jack Daniels originally got
Yes,
started. So
yes, sir.
I got the bunded.
Oh yeah. The bottle, yeah, the bottled and bun.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
Yep.
hundred
So
hundred
that's a
proof.
100 proof. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
drinking a
yeah,
100 proof tonight.
yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
pour. I
So
like that a lot. I like that a lot.
yeah, it's really good. It's not as strong as you would think for 100 proof,
No,
and
it's smooth.
it's really smooth. I think that's the problem. It's really smooth, and you like I'm drinking 100 proof. Right. This might catch up with me later. Right.
Yeah, don't go too
Yeah.
far.
This is my destination for the evening right here.
Don't go too far.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Well, look, man, let us know what the mental health minute was for the week.
So the mental health minute, we know this time of the year also can be very energetic. It can be very positive. It can be very uplifting, but also can be very stressful. Right? You're getting the beginning of the year started. You're also trying to wind down the end of the year. As we know, everybody is knee deep into taxes. So we talk about things about stress relievers. One, if you can, eliminate the things that cause the stress. If you can't, then you got to find other things to do. So we encourage folks to do things like meditation. Find ways to be able to meditate, use things like the different sounds of the ocean, the bowls, right? You can find all this information on YouTube. You can just type in meditation music. You can type
Yeah,
in meditation music to help you sleep or relax, right? There's different things that work. Massage therapy, getting a massage helps release those knots physically out of those muscles. And then you can do a combo of massage therapy and aromatherapy together to actually help out. We have bath bombs that we use, and those things you pour into your bath. You can use, or you can do regular lavender, or you know,
lavender, chamomile. Yeah.
chamomile. Different things like Epsom salt, something to help
Hmm.
the muscles relax. We encourage laughter. Laughter is one of the best medicines, so we encourage that. Surrounding yourself with positive people. Positive people make a big difference when you start talking
Yeah.
about dealing with stress. And then things always come up with a plan to help relieve or change the circumstances. And those are some of the things that we just advise folks as you dealing with stressful situations. And that's like normal people. We talk about adulting. Adulting could be very stressful when you have a lot of responsibility and things that you need to take care of. So,
Yeah.
what is the groove, Chuck?
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you this. I
Hmm.
appreciate your mental health minute, but I also can put into perspective the ability to cope, the ability to maintain even when things go wrong, being able to laugh, as you said, like laughter is a good medicine.
Right.
So Mac, and you know this, like we had an action packed weekend, just like regular, and we traveled up to the Higher Purpose Awards in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Hmm.
We're there, awesome time. Got a chance to sit down with the Hamiltons. An interview will be coming out with them. Those brothers, man, them jokers can sing, man. And they real life country boys too. North Carolina, the Hamiltons out of NC. But I'll say this: I got back, I started reviewing the footage from some of those interviews, and I didn't take like all of the big equipment because we were going up there, to be a part of the event and not service the event.
Right.
And look, some of my equipment that I had, it just didn't work, well for me. And man, when I was like, man, let me try to do this to save the interviews. The video it was great. I did it with an iPhone. I was thinking that my little microphone, my little handheld microphone, was going to work the way that I thought it would work in other situations. It did not do that. It did not do that. And and I had to, employ some AI trying to save the interview. And boy, when that AI got the AI, and that shit was so funny, man.
That
It's
with the AI.
when the AI got the AI. It was so funny. I thought it sounded as if Dear Silas and I were in an episode of what was the Over the Hill, Under the Hill, uh King of the Hill. That's what it was. What was
With
what
that
was
twang,
yes.
Boomheimer with that twang.
Boomhauer. Yeah, yeah. So man, look, I posted well, one clip of it, and
Right.
hopefully I've got some other plans to save some of the other interviews. But the Hamiltons, their interview came out great. It'll be releasing tomorrow. But
Yeah.
definitely want to give a shout out to the Higher Purpose Co. and all of the businesses and entrepreneurs and organizations that they highlighted. It was an outstanding event, and the Hamiltons are definitely somebody I could see doing some things with us at Tougaloo, and doing some things with us in the capital region. So, and even on in the Southern District in the Mississippi Gulf Coast area, they put on a really really good show. Man, they can sing. The
Yeah.
brothers play instruments. They got a great band behind them, and their management. I met two of their managers. One of them I remember, his name is Danny. Man, them brothers they had really good spirits about them. So I love the way that they move around the room. I love the way that they move on the stage. And I want to just say thank you to Tim and the Higher Purpose Co team, and also the Hamiltons and their team, the Tones, spelled with a 3. Thank y'all for everything that y'all did for Clarksdale and the state of Mississippi. So man, that's the groove. And let's get into tonight's conversation. We are talking behind the scenes, Mac. Now lay out some context of how we arrived at this conversation for tonight.
Okay. Okay. Can you see if I guess made it? Is he
He
backstage?
he is backstage and he's ready
All
to
right.
go. He's lit. He got on like he got on a black tie this time. No, I
Oh
ain't
yeah,
seen.
yeah. He came from a black tie affair. So we got a couple things right now that's happening. Right. We saw in the news where um, a senior citizen lost their life due to an explosion at their home.
Hmm.
And what was found out was that they have been calling and calling, reporting a gas leak
Mm-hmm.
in the neighborhood for several months, right? Letting folks know. But now what we got going around the city, we have folks, especially in the South Jackson area, where the alarm was sound. Folks got to do something, and you have about 500 crew members in the city that are trying to get this thing together with this gas.
500.
Fi- Like 50 different crews. I'm talking about from different states, and I guess could shed more details.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, this situation started before our guest took office.
Uh-huh.
So the problem fell on our guests to be able to handle it. And I think it's not a better time for this guest to come on,
Okay.
and we're talking about the first black, uh, the first black public service commissioner, and that's the Central District Service, Public Service Commissioner, the Keith Stamps, former representative commissioner, former representative Stamps, former Councilman Stamps.
Right.
So he's been working, and he's continued to advocate and work to take care of the city of Jackson. So let's bring him on out, let him introduce himself, and give us some give us some update on what's going on. And I got
There you
some
go.
things to show y'all. There you go, looking like itself,
Looking just like itself.
Hey guys, how y'all doing today?
man. We
Awesome.
good.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity to come on. I don't have a drink because I'm still on the road, and I'll have to live vicariously through y'all.
We got some water for
Night.
you. We gonna drink water for Stamps. I got the water for Stamps.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Y'all always
Just
do a great job. We got a heavy topic to talk about tonight, so
Come on.
I appreciate y'all for giving me just a little bit of time. I know I wasn't on the original program, but y'all cleared the slate to allow me the opportunity to come on your platform to discuss a very important issue, and I look forward to breaking it open. I don't know how y'all want to start off. I can.
Well, this is what I would say, because I know
The
that
backstory.
there are some of us that, one, don't know what a public service commissioner is.
Okay.
All right. I would say let's start there, and then let's go to the backstory, because then we'll know why Commissioner DeKeitha Stamps is even dealing with this particular issue. So give us some backstory on, like, all right, what is a public service commissioner? Because honestly, before you started running, this is a transparent thing for me. I never paid attention to that.
Well, you're not alone. Several people have, don't know what public service commissioners do. So in Mississippi, we have 3 public service commissioners: a northern, a central, and a southern district commissioner, and we work together to regulate electrical, investor-owned electrical and natural gas, water sewer operations, interstate pipeline safety, all over the state. I love it. I am highly appreciative of all the support we received to get to this point, and we're having a ball. We are really enjoying the work we're doing. Again, we have a northern, a central, and a southern district commissioner, and 3 of us meet once a month to work through utility issues at a high level, and then we go back to our districts and we work on utility issues at a low level. So that's in a nutshell what our job is: to ensure that the lights stay on, that the toilets flush, and that the natural gas is doing what it's supposed to do in a safe and efficient manner. We work through telecommunication issues, and we also do interstate pipeline safety.
That sound like a whole lot.
It is. Our office is the backbone to economic development. Whether it be the Lowndes County aluminum plant or the Marshall County plant, we did it in the first week of our being in office, or the Amazon deal. All the biggest drivers of economic development in the state, if you're in the southern area, is Mississippi Power. If you're in the central area, it's Entergy. If you're in the northern area, it's TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority. The utility companies are the drivers of economic development in the state. And so once the utilities are in place, then MDA comes in and they shop out sites. But the real work happens long before MDA even the Mississippi Development Authority gets started. And that's working with local communities to get utilities to their industrial sites and to homes, and when it comes to building homes and property and all that, subdivisions. Well, the first thing you got to have utilities. So we work through those issues from the rooter to the tutor.
So look, you kind of laid it out for us in terms of what you do, and
Mhm.
then you kind of alluded to, you know, how we arrived in this particular situation. We
Mhm.
were talking about Atmos Energy.
Mhm.
So kind of give us some of the backstory as it
Well,
relates to that.
let me lay it out to you. So, um, there's been so my heart goes out to the families who were impacted in the tragic loss of life that we saw happen right here in
Yeah.
Jackson. And there are two separate operations going on at the same time. You have the investigation of the tragic loss of life. You have the investigation of all the causes to that. We have other property damages that have happened. And so the National Transportation Safety Board is investigating those issues. Our office is investigating those issues as well. Those investigations are ongoing, and we're waiting for the results of those investigations to happen. And we want to be sensitive to those investigations. So I'm not going to speak about, even though I know, you know, a good portion of the information
Yeah.
in that. I'm not at liberty to share the details of that at this juncture of the investigation. But what has also happened, the first thing that we do is we identify, well, what are the causes, and we start surveying areas for gas leaks through Atmos. And the more Atmos surveyed, the more issues that they found.
Mm.
So then you start to marshal troops, and this is all happening inside of the last 10, 11 days or so. You start marshaling troops from about 12 different states into Mississippi. They started off staging at the National Guard Armory. The operation grew. They had to call in a few more command trucks, and now they are stationed over at the old McGray's Distribution Center on Highway 80. It gave them the internal parking and the office space
Mm-hmm.
that they needed to have an operation. Now, this operation won't be this large for a long time, but until we get till Atmos gets its teeth around the issue, then they'll start to ramp down over time. And so they have these survey attachments to vehicles that go through communities. I call them sniffers because they basically can detect the presence of natural gas all the way down to the billionth particle.
Mm.
So if you imagine a vehicle with sensors all over it, and it can detect the presence of natural gas. If it drives down the street, it can tell us if your pilot light's out in your hot water heater in your house. That's how sensitive the technology is.
Yeah.
And we've had that incident happen. You know, they drive down the street, alarm goes off, they go knock on the door, and they go inside, inspect the property, and the lady's pilot light's out, or the pilot light on the stove is out. You know, and some people, you know, have issues, and you know, they go in and light the pilot light. And in some cases, the issue is bigger than that, where there's a leak on the customer side, and in some cases, there's a leak on the utility side. So Atmos has gas lines all over the state, and so the more that was surveyed, the more issues that we found.
Yeah.
And so our office, you know, started raising the alarm on different issues, but we do it in such a way that doesn't cause panic. Atmos turned around and started digging up gas lines and cutting people's gas off, so there wouldn't be any more issues. So once they got their teeth around the initial issue, now we went into preventive maintenance to keep from having further issues. They had about 300 people in hotel rooms at one point. Tonight, there are less than 10 in hotel rooms.
Uh-huh.
And what they're also doing is giving people, if people that are getting work done where they cut the gas off, you know, it's cold outside, And if you can't leave your home because you have maybe medical issues, just like Mac has, a family member who it would be very cumbersome to leave home.
Yeah.
They brought in compressed natural gas portable tanks that they attach to your home so you can shelter in place. So there's no need for some mass scale evacuation if you can walk through the neighborhoods and identify issues and turn gas off where necessary, shelter in place where necessary, move people to hotel rooms where necessary. And this is things that Atmos is paying for at their own at Atmos's expense.
Okay.
There are resources that are set aside in the budgeting process to work through these issues. And so as they moved on, the scope of the area has grown and grown.
Yeah.
And so and what they're doing also is when they repressurize the system and get ready to turn the gas back on at your home, they do their pressure test. If they identify a leak on the customer side of the water meter, the customer would normally have to call a plumber and pay for it and all that to get it fixed. Atmos has hired a whole crew of local plumbers to take care of issues on the customer side as well. So, so there's a plethora of steps that are being taken on the utility side, on our side, on NTSB side to investigate and mitigate and search problems for the future.
Now, what is NTSB?
The National Transportation Safety Board is a federal organization that is the third-party investigative branch for issues like this, all the way from issue at this level all the way up to a plane crash.
Okay.
They're the ones that come in and render a finding. Our office, through the public utility staff, has investigative approaches as well. Mm-hmm. And so we work through issues like this to find out what's going on, how deep it is, and ensure that people's lives are safe. And so what our experience that we bring to the table, and one of the benefits of coming from local government and coming up through the ranks, you learn a little bit over the years.
Okay.
You learn that in times like this, emotional intelligence is critical. So that you can deal with issues without causing a huge frenzy, but you can deal with it in such a way where you can maintain public confidence and you can also deal with the problem. I know there's been a lot of conversations on social media, and it's warranted. Anytime you have issues like this and you have tragic loss of lives and property, it's definitely alarming when you wake up in the morning and you see, trucks everywhere digging up streets and digging up stuff in yards all over. And partial of it is due to the severity of the issue. And the other part is due to the fact that you have a public service commissioner that knows these areas and just said, we'll fix everything. Mm-hmm. And this is what fixing Jackson looks like. A lot of people talk about fixing Jackson, but if you're not digging up the distribution lines of whatever utility you're working with, you're not fixing Jackson. You're just making engineers a lot of money and having some expensive PowerPoints being done. What we're focused on now is direct action. Yeah. Not, commissioning a study or trying to have some kind of long drawn out scientific research and allow problems to continue to exist. We're focused on, fixing the problem. And so we partner with one organization, a couple organizations. First and foremost, we partner with the Association of South Jackson Neighborhoods, which is an organized structure of neighborhood presidents who we work through in times of tragedy. We also partner with Mississippi Move, and these are relationships that we have used for every tragedy. Yeah. When it comes to South Jackson, people already who have relationships, who already have worked together on issues before, and so that's that community partnership piece. And we welcome other people to partner as long as they partner within the structure that is in place. Because for me, I know this is not a military operation, but I'm in charge, and things are going to go in a disciplined and effective manner, and we're going to do things the right way.
Look like Max got a question, and I know I got a couple of them.
Okay, let me finish a few more comments before we break it up. All right, so and so as we continue to lean on Atmos to look at things and research areas, and we move very quickly to the actual solution of the problem. And so, with that being said, we're gonna keep working hard. I haven't told my father to evacuate. You know, I haven't told my aunts. I got 451 family members that live in Jackson. I got 211 of them that live below Highway 80. If I haven't told my family to evacuate, you know, I'm not telling anybody else to evacuate. What I am telling people is that we're working through this. There will be a day where we call folks to the carpet and we go through the whole, you know, lay down the hammer portion, as you may call it, of who's responsible. But our experience also tells us that there are more people potentially responsible for this than just Atmos. Because the way a gas line works, it's in the ground. If we have this many gas leaks, that means we need to look at everybody who's digging in the ground. Because one of the groups that's not been digging in the ground is Atmos. But you do have everybody else who's digging in the ground, whether it be on the water sewer side, whether it be broadband providers who are running broadband in areas, whether it be another cable provider who is running some type of fiber optic cable, whether it be a road crew, whether it be somebody putting in a fence or a mailbox, you know. So the technology that's being put in place is first digging up steel pipes, because when a post hole digger hits a steel pipe, there's a spark. And so the new technology is putting in very high intense polyurethane piping, so that if somebody does hit a gas line, that does not create a spark, and it is it's safer. But also the tracer wires and the geotagging is allowing for Atmos to have the geolocation of all their lines throughout the city in the proper mapping, because you can only imagine the gas lines that are in the ground previous to this were put in place 60, 70 years ago, and it was a paper map somewhere. But now this technology will, and Atmos will be sharing this technology with every other utility provider, so they'll be able to know that on this street the gas line is 25 inches below the ground, and it is going, and it's all precision. It's all geo. It has GPS tagging on it. It has tracer wires in it, so other utilities can function better and more effectively, you know, going forward. So that's one of the good things that's happening when you put new things in the ground. You can have you know, new technology and better service going forward. So this will be in place for at least the next 100, 150 years. The work that they're doing now.
I got a lot of questions. So one, if I was going to dig, don't people supposed to call 811 and if they're in Jackson?
This is true.
Right.
And if you are a utility provider, you're supposed to call 811. There is a mapping subscription, but you know, the city of Jackson as a city does not participate in 811, which has been an ongoing issue. It's been an ongoing issue. We brought this up over the years while we were on the council, and you know, we need the city to participate in the program. You know, so there's layers to this. It's not just
how you not participate? Like, explain to the people, like, what's the benefit of participating in 811 and how it look if you don't?
Yeah, well, you provide better service to citizens by participating in 811. If I broke down, and this is not just something with this current, this has been something ongoing. The city didn't participate 20 years ago. So there's a myriad of different reasons for that. Just know that that's just one bullet point of a laundry list of things that need to be done going forward.
Wow.
But beyond that, you go into the issues of city inspections. That when you get ready to renovate something in your home, we need to make sure that the city inspectors are doing what they're supposed to do to protect the citizens' side of the meter, because there is an inspection that takes place when you cut gas off for a certain period of time, and then you go back and you want to go buy a house or rent a house. We got to make sure that those inspections are done properly. We got to make sure that that other utilities are doing what they're supposed to do and what Atmos is supposed to do. So from our space, we look at the totality of the situation, everyone that is supposed to play a role in affecting quality utility service, and hold every layer of it accountable. Not just, we're going to hold Atmos accountable, of course, but we're going to hold everybody accountable who touches a utility.
Yeah, and that's kind of where my question stems from, is like, if Atmos is going around at this very time, like the moment at which we speak, tomorrow morning, folks, residents of Central Mississippi, they got Atmos dudes on their street with backhoes and bobcats and people with yellow vests. If that's happening, what about other? And I know the information is going to be shared with once Atmos does their thing, geotagged and all of these GPS enabled, pipe systems. What about the other folks? Because I mean, if they're digging holes right now, why are we not doing like water? Or for the folks that have C-Spire, they've been putting down fiber all over the state,
right?
And Sparklight and the other broadband, we've been digging. So if we're talking about this type of digging and it's happening in multiple locations, specifically Jackson, why aren't we, taking those steps to say, all right, well, we got holes already in the ground. Why can't we do something like that?
Well, so all these are done with directional boring. So it's all a boring system. So it's not a trench going down your street where you can just like lay down a long pipe. It's a directional boring system. And all of them use some type of directional boring to install gas lines. Now, the only one that doesn't use a directional boring system would be a water line. But and we've coordinated with Jackson Water. They've done a great job on partnering with this whole process, because in some cases you'll see a water line that already has a water leak, and so Atmos has been partnering with Jackson Water. They've been very responsive.
Okay.
And the team at Jackson Water has been responsive in doing so to assist in the other utilities, because everybody also knows that it may not be just Atmos that is responsible for the issue, and they also know who the Keith Stamps is, and the hammer's gonna fall where the hammer falls, and it just is what it is.
Yeah.
If you play a role in not doing things appropriately, not mapping stuff out, not or hitting someone else's utility, well, you're also responsible. So that's why experience kicks in on my side. And, the initial thing that people say, well, oh, okay, bad Atmos, which in some cases that may be true. And the investigations will unfold that. But from my experience, it's telling me that there are other entities that play even greater of a role in not having effective, because you just don't have this many leaks with somebody being responsible that's not digging in the ground.
Right. At this particular time, after we've had thousands or millions of dollars that have been pumped into the
it's millions.
state.
Yeah.
For
So,
broadband.
and this is not
internet.
just Jackson. This is we got stuff going on
State.
all
I said
over
state.
the statewide. So
Yeah.
while the highest concentration may be the city of Jackson, and this is just not Atmos. This is other utility companies, and so our whole world in our space is the world that most people don't pay attention to. It's what's happening below the surface level. It's paving a street. It's the repaving of it. It's all of that.
So Stamps, can you kind of give some location, like what was the most concentrated area, like where people saw folks working?
Well, so in the beginning, so if you can imagine, if you went from Wingfield High School and go south almost to Byram, and then go west almost to the city limits, to Brook Hollow. And so that's a huge area. But as Atmos surveyed more areas, they found more problems. And that area increases. And it increases. And then it goes into Center Point's area. And now we're talking to them about, hey, we need y'all to survey your area.
Mm-hmm.
We need, we got some surveying that we talked about today that we want to see about getting in Canton, Mississippi. We got some surveying that's going on all over. So you can go right to Atmos's website, and there is a live mapping of the whole state of Mississippi. And you'll see that mapping of work being done all over the state.
All right, I'm gonna bring that up on the screen as we continue to talk.
Oh, great.
We have a question coming in from looks like Facebook. Curtis Drake says, "What should citizens do?"
All right, so what citizens should do, first and foremost, if you smell something, say something. First and foremost. Secondly, I know people are concerned about their yards being dug up and getting it fixed. When the construction work is I'm in the truck. I'm on the road here, but I'm not driving though. But when the construction work is complete, then they'll be contracting with local landscape companies to resod people's houses, yards, fix issues. You'll see a bunch of steel grates across utility places. So the repaving of some streets will happen. And that's a perfect map. See that map? That's Atmos's 12 state service area. And as you zero in on Mississippi, you'll see the work that's taking place statewide. And it's a lot of work. It's like I said, it's not just a small thing. There's work happening everywhere. That tight concentration is just at Jackson right now, but there are crews all over the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, I see that there is a large concentration in the Jackson or the capital region area. Like I can see that this is 220, and they're only just a small amount, as my computer or my mouse is going crazy here. There's just a small amount outside of that that 220 I-55 20 corridor.
Now, what you also don't see in that map is that there are several utility companies. See, Atmos doesn't cover the whole state. There are other utility companies that cover those gaps. And if you saw some of their maps on their websites, you'll see where those things, flush out. So that's not all the work that's happening. We work with all the utility companies, not just not just Atmos. So so we believe in hitting the ground running. And January the 4th, this year was when we got sworn in, and myself, Commissioner Carr, Commissioner Brown, we're on the same page, and we're aggressive. All three of us are not the normal. We are all kind of mavericks, and not part of the establishment. but we are all aggressive. And so you see a coordinated group of commissioners
Yeah.
who are pushing the envelope to stabilize our state and produce economic development. Because I don't know if you want to talk about the Amazon deal and the other Marshall County economic development projects. We can talk about that as well. But we're doing our job, and we're forcing several other layers of government and private entities to do their job as well.
So we want to make sure that we see we had any questions about the Atmos deal. So Atmos will also be at the different town hall meetings with the city council members. Like tomorrow, they'll be in Councilman Stokes' ward, and also they will be Thursday. They will be in Councilman Banks' ward, which is down the street. Because when Stamp said Brook Hollow is right down the street from me. I can tell you, Raymond Road is on this. I can tell you several people that live in Brook Hollow. So we are in the effective area, and yeah, the crew's been working in our neighborhood all last week, all up and down Willowwood Boulevard, all in they dug up Mr. Frank's yard, um, and yeah, it definitely was something that we started asking questions, and we wanted to get the information so we can give folks accurate information,
Uh-huh.
so people can know. And so we definitely want people to know that if you are in Ward 3, tomorrow you can go to Cornerstone with Pastor PJ, Pastor PJ Williams. Then also Thursday be at Councilman Banks Church right there on the corner of Maddox Road and well off of Maddox Road right before you get to Raymond Road. And actually they digging up that parking lot. They were out there today. I think he came back.
There you go.
But Stamps and I, we always talk about proactiveness.
Yeah.
Well, and we always on ready.gov when it comes to natural disasters. From the storm, we created a flyer. From the ice storm, we created a flyer, and we also want to create a flyer for this to get out to community, to get out on social media, um, of what to do. So what we went and found, and I did not know this until I sat down and called Commissioner Stamps. Chuck, do you have a smoke detector in your house?
Yes.
Do you have a carbon monoxide detector in your house?
Yes.
Does your carbon monoxide pick up natural gas?
No.
So I did not know that it was a difference until I talked to Commissioner Stamps. So what we went and did today, and big shout out to Michelle and Chris for working with us. We found this, right, and there are several ones on the you can go to Amazon, but we happen to get these at Lowe's. We bought these. So what we're trying to do to assist is to find out, especially for our senior citizens, those who do not have a lot of people to help them out. We're trying to get some of these and get it into community so we can be proactive, so we can do our part as little bitty people.
Mm-hmm.
As Brother Tillman, you say, in my little brain, my little body, we're going to try to do what we can with our little resources to try to get some of these into the senior citizens' houses, those, especially those that are disabled, because this right here, it says explosive gas and carbon monoxide alarm. So this is a 3-in-1 protection, and it picks up methane, it picks up propane, it picks up any type of gas, and it goes off. So these things, right, we got these from Lowe's, and this is what it looks like when you take it loose. It
Yeah.
has a battery that goes in it. Also, you can plug it into the wall. So
Okay.
if the power goes out, it still works off the battery. And it has a tester. The tester is very loud. I'm not gonna push it right now, but it's very loud,
Tell-
and it just
yeah.
kind of give you an idea of what it looks like.
Oh, you about to test?
Um, uh,
I thought you about to press that button. I'm finna
I'm not
tap.
gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's loud. It's gonna go through all different settings, but it's
Yeah.
designed. It's designed to be able to let you know what's going on. And I never knew that it was a difference that you had to have something that picked up natural gas. And so this is what we found. Like I said, we got them at Lowe's,
Yeah.
and they have other ones on Amazon that are less expensive. I'm going to send you that link, Chuck, for those at Amazon. But you could place them, and they tell you where to place them at. There's a little chart that
Got
comes in
some
there, and
recommended locations for placement.
it recommended location for placement. It also tells you the different codes and things that it lets you know what light shows up, what the display mean.
Mm-hmm.
This right here is written in English and Spanish, so we can get it out to our community. Um, it's very detailed. It's very detailed, and we know we're also working on volunteers to actually once we get these in hand,
Mm-hmm.
that we can actually be able to go in and, as Commissioner Stamp say, I know some of my folks, you might have some folks too. If you give them this today, come back in next week, it's probably still gonna be sitting there.
In the
But
plastic.
if you take it and actually mount it and put it where they need it at, then they
Yeah.
could potentially help save their life. So big shout out to our other friend, Tougaloo alumni, Dr. Sandra Melvin, who are the Institute for uh, Minority Health, are going to donate some of these too, so we can get
It's
them
all
out
right.
to our community. So we're gonna get that out. So we're doing our part as community to try to educate. We're gonna get this bullet point out, and we're also gonna try to get these out into some of these communities so we can help folks out. But Commissioner Stamps, can you give folks like, I know that you're not prepared for this, but if you're sitting in your house and this carbon monoxide detector go off or detector goes off, and it's the natural gas alert, what
Mm.
should you do?
Well, first and foremost, we'll give you a whole list of things to do. First and foremost, you need to, leave and call somebody, and walk next door and make a phone call and allow professionals to come assess your situation and let you know it's safe. But there's a list of things that you should do, and we'll send it over to you so you can share with your subscribers.
Yeah, and I know one of the main things said don't try to deal with nothing electronic because you don't
Right.
want to spark, right?
Uh,
So if you don't, and the majority of us go through our garage. This ain't the time to go through the garage. This is the time to go out the door, right?
That's right.
And yeah, go out the door, grab what you need, but don't make. And you said go next door and make a phone call. Don't
Right.
try to use your cell phone, because we are all about being proactive and doing what we can to help save a life. But yeah, we have this. If you are interested in working with us in this part that we can do as a community, you can reach out to us. Chuck is going to drop our information for Nightcap. You can email us or
And
inbox us, and
and
we'll
I
assist.
appreciate y'all for allowing me the opportunity to be here. And we look forward to continue to work.
Now,
most
Steps, go
definitely.
ahead. Now, tell us about the good news. Update us about the good news from Madison.
Oh well, yeah, we're creating jobs. We cast a vision of creating 10,000 jobs, and God worked it out, and we created 10,000 jobs in the first month and a half. So we rocking and rolling. We got 2,000 jobs coming to Marshall County. It's gonna take about 3,000 jobs to create the place. We got another 1,000 coming to Madison County, but it's gonna take 5,000 construction workers to build that operation. That's a 1,700-acre data farm, and so we're working to create jobs and opportunities all around. So we're rocking and rolling. Our schedule's packed every day, and we're not taking the opportunity we have lightly. And we're gonna keep working hard. And we're about to expand our office operations to 7 days a week. From 5 days a week because of the work that we got going on. So, and I know for our office, I told our team when we came aboard, we didn't fire anybody. We said, y'all know your job. Your job is not to do your job and do it better than you've ever done it before. And we're doing a little bit of retraining. And
Hmm.
we didn't just kick everybody off the bus. We may rearrange some seats on the bus, and then and work through it. So and our office is always available and accessible. I'll when I sign off, I'll put my information in the chat. Anybody wants to call our office, need help with anything, call your utility first. And then if that service is not what you think it should be, give us a call. After you call your utility first, you give us a call next.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was going to actually kind of like to double down on is like if the person is having difficulty with a particular utility, what is their path of recourse to say, all right, I call Cox Cable or Sparklight or whomever, and if my issue is not resolved after going through the proper channels, then I call my public service commissioner.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. All right. And I know you hinted at the information regarding the creation of jobs through what's happening in Marshall County and Madison County. I, of course, as a person who's in business, I have questions about business. Like,
Okay.
how the hell do I position myself? How to get some of this excuse me, I was about to let one on fly. How do I position myself to get some of this money when you got all these people that are coming here to build these things and to do and create and all of this? So that's my question, is like, for me and those that look like me and those who don't mind, putting in a little elbow grease, what do we need to do to potentially get some of these contracts?
All right. So I just put a link to our digital business card in the chat.
Okay.
In the comments section. But there's a link on there first and foremost. When you click on that link, there's a link inside of there that says utility jobs. There are too many recession-proof jobs that are going vacant because people don't identify that the utility space is a great space to have a career in. I've never met a broke electrician. I've never met a plumber that was broke. And if he's broke, it's because of his own issues. But the skill sets inside the utility space can provide. Now, you might not be able to get a Lamborghini with the money, but you can afford a F-250, a Camry, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, send your children to college, and go on vacation every year, and stay in the neighborhood you grew up in, and go to your home church, no matter if you're in Holmes County or Hines County. You can work in the utility space and drive a F-250 and get your wife a Camry and build a nice life for you and your family. Because linemen are needed everywhere. Certified water operators can basically write their own ticket because every city needs them and there's not enough of them. So first and foremost, we promote the employment opportunities. As far as the business opportunities are concerned, they'll be immense. The Amazon deal, heck, a tenth of the money, about $1 billion, is being put in the Delta. There was a plant that was due to be decommissioned in Washington County, and as part of that Amazon deal, it's going to cost right about $1 billion to redo that gas-fired plant up in Washington County. So they're going to get a brand new electric production plant right in Washington County. There'll be new transmission lines to bring the power from there back to Madison County, because all of the power generation can't be on site. It needs to be, somewhere else, just in case there is a natural disaster or something like that, that power is redundant and reliable. So the opportunities in just that deal is going to be great. I mean, I can't remember anything of this magnitude in recent history being built in the Delta. And so there'll be opportunities all over. When this Amazon deal gets fully up and running, this one provider will probably finance about 1/5 of the whole state budget, just because of this one manufacturing operation. So we're growing the whole economy through the utility space, and using everything we can to make sure that we keep as many jobs as here as possible.
Like Mac about to jump in with a little something.
I was just gonna say, man, if we don't have any other questions for Commissioner Stamps, hey, you can let us know
Well, I
anything else you
appreciate
want to tell
y'all.
us.
Anytime you want me to come back, let me know.
Most definitely.
All right, bro.
All right.
Well, look, this has been Nightcap Knowledge. Mac, what you think about the comments from the Public Service Commissioner or the Public Service Commission? And I got some other ones. We're gonna have to bring them back, man. Got some other ones.
Yeah, it's a lot, man, because it's trying to unpack a lot.
Yeah.
Things have not been said, like lot of the issues we've been dealing with was already there, and now you're trying to, you know, put patches in, and not patches, but actually fix it. And so that's one of the things that's happening because this is a serious thing. I'm not a fan of gas, right? So when you start talking about me, I'm not a fan of gas at all, right? I deal with electricity, I deal with fire, you know. The crazy thing about me is I'm not afraid of electricity. You know, I dive right into a socket. You know, you let me feel comfortable enough. I go dive into the breaker box. You know,
Yeah.
but gas is something like you said that you can't see. It's a scary thing about it, and a lot of people don't know how to handle it. You don't know what you need to do. You can't go cut the power off. You can't do it like once the gas has started leaking. Any little thing is to start it. So that's why the only thing we know how to do besides encouraging everybody, and hopefully people are listening and take it serious. The same thing we say about the storms. Make an evacuation plan for your family.
Yeah.
Do drills with your family. Let your family know if we got to leave the house, what we need to grab and where we need to go. And then because of this, it's a different situation. You can't go out the garage. You can't use your cell phone. You can't turn off a light or cut on a light. If you have to leave, what does that look like for you and your family to get out the house without cutting on power?
Yeah.
And then a lot of folks, a lot of people have more than one vehicle, so one vehicle is always outside, and of course, you might have one in the garage, but you need to have that plan on how I'm gonna get away because you can't start that vehicle, right? Because you don't
Right.
want to take a chance in a spark causing.
Combustion.
Right. So you got to get away on foot and get far enough from the house so you can
Yeah.
call someone and get them to come check it out, and
But
that's
I
what they're
think the
waiting
first
on.
thing is, Mac, what you've shown to
Mhm.
us, and
And I sent the link to you too, Chuck.
okay,
Yeah.
what you've shown to us in that particular product is like, if you have gas and you don't have one of these particular sensors, then your first stop need to be headed to Lowe's tomorrow, or Home Depot, or well, whatever it is that True Value. None of these people are paying for our mention of uh their establishment, but to protect yourself, to protect your family, you definitely want to get something that has that explosive gas and carbon monoxide, because all of us got smoke detectors, and typically the smoke detector that any of um the houses that are being built now, they're going to have that dual protection. But to know that there's an additional thing, that if you have a gas home or some sort of explosive gas that is connected to your home, you definitely want to have that. Because I know I use propane, but I also know that I store propane outside in the back corner of the lot. I don't have propane running through my house into my stove or into them fancy lights on the front of the house. I get them LED lights that look like they gas.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what we were saying. Like, it was a big strain on the system this past month because it was so cold, and so we don't know what all happened. But we just tell folks to be careful and watch
Yeah.
out. And this is just an example, right? We don't know what else. We don't have all the answers, but we are trying to be
We don't
proactive.
know what we don't know.
We don't know what we don't know, and I always advocate to put education over entertainment. Let's find out what we need to do. I always talk about take your time, control your emotions, think through, figure out what we need to do. Always use the 4 steps of community organizing, and that's investigate, educate, negotiate, and demonstrate. You got to know what's going on before we start getting information out, and what we need to do and what we want the folks to do. So right now, like I say, we're right here, right here between Sywell and Raymond, right around the corner, right down the road from Wingfield. So we are in the South Jackson area. We actually this is the same area where we just had issues with water.
Yeah.
um,
And
so
that's really the point that I was trying to make with my question is like, C Spire specifically.
mhm,
And down on this end, C Spire doesn't have that type of footprint. But I know without a doubt that C Spire has
Hmm.
been running uh, fiber optic cable
Hmm.
in all of the areas that you and Commissioner Stamps have mentioned. Now, what does that mean? I know for a fact that if Atmos has not been drilling
Hmm.
or they have not been digging,
Hold on. Go keep going, Chuck.
if they haven't been digging, that means that they pipes just as old as Jackson water pipes. So with that being the case, why? I guess the question for Atmos is why have you not done anything prior to this? Because we're talking about infrastructure. We're talking about the infrastructure of utilities. Utilities is what? Water, gas, and power. And then now internet. So the pipes for gas, old, pipes for water, old. You still got electricity in most parts of the state above ground on poles. And so when a strong wind come through, you lose your power, your electricity.
Yeah.
But now when you've got internet utility providers, because I think we got to start saying it like that, because they're digging in the same space.
So here's the thing about it, and we were talking to some friends earlier, and like if the water pipes break or burst because of the cold and the shift in infrastructure, why we wouldn't think the other pipes would break or burst when the cold,
That's what I'm saying.
do this.
That's
So,
what I'm saying.
and people are careless, right? We see folks and how they handle things. We see how they put stuff back, and people are not thinking that they everybody they're not communicating and working as a team, and you would think everything is fine until we
Come on,
have a situation. We
come on,
don't know what the cause is, but we know what the result was.
come on.
And so proactively, how do we hold folks accountable and everybody do their part? So asking people, um, let's do our part. Make sure we check around our house. Make sure we do our due diligence. Make sure we check on our family. I always talk about family and elderly and disabled, especially those that live by themselves. They depend on us to go check on them. We depend on, like when we get ready to go to Holmes County. I know there are a lot of senior citizens. I know there are a lot of folks in Holmes County still got the regular butane or natural gas heater upside the wall.
Side the wall,
Um,
right? You're
I
right.
know we got a lot of that, right?
Yeah,
My uncle got one of those, so we need to make sure we ensure their safety as much as possible. Also, fire extinguishers. Make sure you got a fire extinguisher in your house. Make
yeah,
sure it's up to date. Check it.
and a small one in your vehicle.
S- Small one in your vehicle. And I mean, but I'm telling folks, like, it's one of those things like you don't think you need it until you need it.
Right.
And a lot of time we think it's a waste of money, but when you need it, it's like you can't get enough of it. They didn't have but five of these left at Lowe's off of Highway 18 today. Five. Until today, majority of folks that we talking to now didn't even know it exists and didn't even know they needed it.
I
And it wasn't but five left. And out right now, I know we've seen this message to a couple folks, but anybody that's watching have any questions, concerns, or are you interested in assisting us to help get this information out and get these items out to our folks in need? So
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if anybody have anything that they want to ask
No,
or
I,
say.
I I think we kind of done rounded it out, man. We got a few
Okay.
people that are still watching. We've already cut Instagram out. Instagram kind of caps us at an hour, 60 minutes. So we're already
Yeah.
off Instagram, but we thank everybody for tuning in to Nightcap Knowledge. Of course, we're going to um continue to bring these insightful episodes to the Facebook and YouTube, as we are now, broadcasting for a solid 60 minutes on Instagram and also on X. um if you have topics that you're interested in hearing about, you got elected officials that you want to hear from across the state, we'll do our best to try to do that outreach to get them here, to do it in a way where it not only looks good, but it's also more conversational, and it's not done in a way where somebody's gonna be attacked or feel uncomfortable with what they have to say. So Y'all trying to hear from, public service commissioners, legislators, senators, city council people, even public works directors. Those are some of the most knowledgeable people about city operations that you can have a conversation with. You talking about public works folk that work, they know. The garbage man, the public works, the people who actually do the digging at the city level, they know who to call in the event that something pop off with the utility providers. They're all on the first name basis. So these are things that we learn more of, but I think that we should start sharing. If we know the lady at the counter at McDonald's, Popeye's name, we should probably know our public service commissioner name, the name of some of the public works people that are doing these jobs. We just need to be more informed, be more active, especially for business owners. Even if you're operating your business out of your home, you definitely need to know who these people are and why being as active as a business owner can impact your bottom line. And at the end of the day, you're in business to make money. So I hope we put something on your head before you go to bed. It's been Nightcap Knowledge. Mac, what we got to get to? We got to get to where the money resides, baby. See y'all next week. DJ George, Chuck, Mr. Mac, we out.
What a money reside, 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 I know that's right. What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside.